So today we're going to practice multiplying and dividing numbers by base 10 with decimals. So if we look up here, you see 3.4672 divided by 100. And then right underneath it, we have 3.4672 times 100. So let's see how when we divide and multiply by base 10 numbers, how it changes the decimal placement. So it's very, very, very simple. If you want to multiply a number like 100 or 1,000, and we're dealing with decimals, all you have to do is count how many circles you have, how many zeros. Here we have 2 zeros, right? 1 0 and 2 zeros. And since we're multiplying, do numbers get bigger or smaller, right? Of course they get bigger. So this is how you know where to swing the decimal. We have 2 zeros. We're going to swing it over 2 spaces. 1, 2. And that's your new home for the decimal. So then we look at the answer, 346.72. Okay? We have a new spot for the decimal point because we multiplied by 100. Our number got bigger by 2 spaces. Let me show you what happens when we're dividing numbers. We still know that we need to move it 2 spaces because we have 2 zeros. 1, 2. But instead of making the number bigger, when we divide, we make a number smaller. But we're going to swing it over 2 spaces, not to the right, but to the left. 1, 2. And you see how there's an open gap right here? We just fill it with a 0. So our new number is 0.034672. So when we divide, we swing our decimal to the left to make it smaller. When we multiply, we swing our decimal to the right to make it bigger. Now, here are problems within the thousands, right? Let me move it over just a bit. Our number is 5,000, hold on, let me make this comma here, 5,678.034, and we're going to divide it by 100. Now, when we divide, our number gets smaller. Well, how many spaces do we move it over to the left? We count our zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. So guess what? It moves over to the left 3 times because it's getting smaller. 1, 2, 3. And then we put our decimal in between the 5 and the 6. So our new answer is 5.678034. Now, we kind of do the same thing when we multiply, but our number doesn't get smaller. So we don't move our decimal to the left. We move it to our right to make it even bigger. How many times? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 zeros, so you swing it over to the right 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And that's where our new decimal is. So our answer for this number is 5678034. That's our answer right here. 5,678,034. So when you're multiplying or dividing by base 10s, which just means you just got a bunch of zeros like this, we either move our decimal to the left to make the number smaller, or we move the decimal over to the right to make it bigger. It just depends how many zeros we have is how many times we move the number. Okay? Hope you understood.